delighted to introduce the two staff members from Pastoral Ministries. And let's begin with you, Annie. Annie Smith is the pastor at Garden Ridge.
Chaplain.
Chaplain,
Yes.
thank you. Get my titles correct here. And Ingrid, I'm going to ask you to pronounce your last name for me.
Calcaño.
Calcaño.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I looked at the spelling of this and decided that it defeated me. So I really appreciate your doing that.
You're welcome.
And Ingrid, your title is Administrative Assistant.
That's correct.
To all of Pastoral Ministries, is that?
That is correct.
All right, thank you. Ladies, where would you like to begin this morning?
Well, I'm going to start out by just talking about all the exciting programs that we have for the month of July. The first up would be our monthly session of Faith, Grief, and Loss, and that's July 6th on Thursday. And this session will be different. We are going to meet over in Pastoral Ministries conference room as opposed to the side chapel, and that's going to be at 11 a.m. in Canterbury Square, the T level.
Ingrid, let me ask you about that group, because I was not familiar with it.
Okay.
Is it a long-standing group? Is it a new group? What?
It's a new group, fairly new. I think we have about
Maybe about 6 months to a year.
6 months
Yeah.
to a
About 6
year.
months. All right.
Yeah.
And it's been very instrumental in
How
helping.
large a group is it?
We started out like 2 or 3 residents, and now we're up to, sometimes it depends. We've gotten up to 8 or 10 residents.
Do residents know about this?
Times
Some
like
do.
this can get it out.
All right. This is your opportunity to
Yes.
no, honestly, I had
Yes.
not heard about this, and I mean, clearly there is a need. I know that hospice in the past, the social worker with hospice has run grief groups. Is this? Do you envision this as having term limits, running for 6 months, or do you view this as a continuous kind of group?
This is continuous.
All right.
Yes, it
All
is.
right. And if anybody's interested, there are no particular criteria,
No.
I assume, for
No.
membership?
Everyone is welcome.
And you meet how often?
Once a month.
Once a month.
First Thursday.
First Thursday
First
of the month.
Thursday. All right. At what time?
At 11.
At 11. All right. And the Canterbury Pastoral Ministries office?
No, we usually meet in the side chapel, but because of another event that is going on.
Oh, I see. This is just
Correct.
this
This is
time
one.
you're
Correct.
meeting in the conference room.
Correct.
All right. Thank you.
Next, we are having the Garden Ridge Biannual Memorial Service on July 12th, and that's going to be Wednesday at 2:30. And Chaplain Addie will be speaking a little bit more about it. We're also having our monthly afternoon at the movies over in the Village Square Theater. And that's on Tuesday, July 18th, where we'll be showing the movie Lemon Tree. And this is about a Palestinian widow who must defend her lemon tree field when a new Israel defense minister moved next to her. So this is going to be very
Is
interesting.
this a documentary or is it a?
It's an actual movie. It's drama. And it's going to be, like I said, 1 o'clock in the theater.
Sounds good.
Next, we have our monthly prayer and reflection on Thursday at 11 a.m. And this is on the 20th, July 20th. And this is a time where just a personal prayer and reflection. We don't have a set a format. You just come in and go as you please, come in and leave as you desire. Also, we're having the July 26th, Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. Garden Ridge goes to the chapel, and that's going to be in the chapel, obviously. And Annie will be talking to us a little bit more about it. And lastly, we're on Thursday, July 27th. We are going to have a musical interlude with Miriam and Lois. whereas harp and voice. So Miriam is going to be playing the harp, and Lois is going to be
Very
singing.
nice.
It's going to be with an afternoon filled with great music from different genres. And that's going to be again Thursday, July 27th in the chapel at 2 p.m. All are welcome.
Very nice. All right. Well, gosh, this is a really active month, isn't it?
It is.
We're always active.
A lot's going on. A lot's going on.
Is this a fairly standard kind of month?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing not standard about Pastoral Ministries because we have a lot of activities going on over there and with different groups, whether it's under the Village Church or another group that's doing things. But I really want to highlight again the biannual memorial service that we do over in Garden Ridge. And again, as Ingrid said, it's on July the 12th at 2:30. It's going to be in the main room in Garden Ridge. And so that biannual memorial service is to remember any resident that has passed in Garden Ridge, whether or not they were.
Is it for staff and residents?
It's definitely in attendance. We want staff and residents. We invite past family members to come back and again honor their resident with us. We certainly want our independent living residents to join in because maybe it was their spouse that passed while they were there in Garden Ridge or whatever. So we will send out invitations. I will send out invitations to them to please come and again just get that extra support as we remember. And these will be residents that have transitioned in life from January 1st of this year to June the 30th of this year. We will remember them on July the 12th. And certainly administration, we ask for people to come because it shows community when we can support each other in our losses and our grief. And with our residents there, these many of them were their table mates, people that they went to exercise with and activities with. So to have that opportunity to share their loss and remember them is a wonderful time that we do twice a year. And so we will do it on July 12th. And certainly, again, we invite all of the community to come over in Garden Ridge and share in that event.
Yes, I think that really is a nice event. Do you publish the names ahead of time of those who have passed over?
We don't publish the names ahead of time, but we will have pictures at that event. We do show the pictures of the residents with their names, So that kind of brings them back, to remember. Oh, yeah, I remember that person, So it helps because we show the photos at that time.
Annie, how many folks are we talking about?
This year it is, the count is like 51. That have passed in a short period of time, in 6 months. Over in Garden Ridge, yes. So,
that's an astonishing number. I had no idea it was
is. And that's the reason why we break it up, because it would be such a large number if we only did it once a year. Okay. And then our next event that Ingrid again has highlighted is Garden Ridge Goes to the Chapel. Now that is the one that I'm definitely even more excited about, because this is an annual event. And it was instituted because of residents saying that how much they miss going to the chapel oftentimes when they transition from independent living to continuing care. So we instituted it 3 years ago. This is our 3rd year of doing that. And it is a major event because it means transporting residents back over, many who are now in different assistive devices. So we use the campus transportation for shuttle. Special transportation to get them to the chapel. We are anticipating at least 50 residents that will come from Garden Ridge, but we're asking for their friends in independent living to join them. So, because it will be a special worship service, kind of entwining the both of continuing care.
How often do you have your Garden Ridge people come over to the chapel?
This is a once-a-year event because it's so major. It's such a major undergoing.
Imagine
it requires many volunteers. So we use our ambassador volunteers, and we use many.
And all your staff, I'm sure.
Oh yes.
Yeah, all the pastoral ministries, and so it's all hands on deck. And so we are again asking for volunteers to again sign up with Let Me Know or programming, Renee Budd over in Garden Ridge, or Kelly, who will be our new volunteer coordinator, to let us know that if you would like to support us, either in assisting with transporting or greeting the residents when they get to the chapel. We need many volunteers at both ends. We need them at both
All right.
ends. But it will be a worship service. And so it will be ecumenical, so there will be all, faith groups there. Certainly Catholics will be represented. Everyone will be represented at that event. And so it's major, and they're looking forward to it.
That's a nice
Yeah.
approach.
We're really looking. And our theme this year, we're going to keep this this theme of the red, white, and blue. So there will be many dressed in their colors of the red, white, and blue. We're going to keep that patriotic theme going since this is the month of the 4th. So
Right.
we will wear, so if you have that, any special red, white, and blue, wear it on that day, because many of our residents will also have those colors on that day to show the unity, again, of support for the country.
Very nice. I can imagine that. That really is a major thing.
It is a major thing.
Are there any plans in Dogwood, in the new Dogwood building, for a chapel or?
Oh my, wouldn't that be wonderful?
Yeah, I mean, I know they're going to have billiard tables.
Yeah, they have a billiard table. You got to have a chapel, right?
Now, you get to comment on that. I won't. Billiard table, chapel.
Yeah, right. Yeah, what's your game, right? What's your game? Now, I know that the space should be larger for gatherings and things like that, so that we can.
There are common
spaces, right? That will transition, but
that you can use really
Yeah.
for that kind of thing.
Yeah. So yeah, but trust me, I put the plug in there
I'm sure you did.
for sacred space. Absolutely, for
Yeah,
sacred
I'm sure you
space.
did.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think just a large area to socialize. Now there is, of course, that I'm not sure what they call that.
The meeting room. Yeah, that's the meeting room.
which is pretty good size.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
On Sundays, we have our 2:00 service, so we put in 50, 60 residents every Sunday for a service there.
can you fit that many in there?
Yes, yes. Creatively,
Creatively, yes.
we can. Yes,
Yeah, I'm sure with a lot of folks with assistive
Support,
devices, it just
absolutely.
takes up a lot of space.
Absolutely.
So, is the new space going to be somewhat larger?
Yeah, I have not seen it, but I'm told it will be larger space.
Yeah, that's what I assumed.
Yes.
I don't think any of us have seen the architecture plans, but
We're only seeing the construction right now.
oh
So I
yes,
encourage people to
exactly.
come see the construction too.
Right. Look
It
at the
is
large
something.
hole.
It is something.
That's about where it is.
Yeah.
Well, folks, I see we're about done with our time here. Anything you'd like to leave us with?
Again, please support the events in Garden Ridge, because it is your friends, and sometimes family members, and maybe your spouse that is there as well. So we encourage you to, support both events. The memorial service, again, on July 12th, and certainly meet us at the chapel on July the 26th at 10:30 in the morning. Meet us at the chapel.
All right. Well, Annie,
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
with that final word then, thank you, both of you, for coming in today.
Thank you for having us.
We will shift over now to the announcements.
Thank you. You made me feel
No,